Good evening everyone and welcome to Gundam News. This week is Mega House's special week for the 2021 winter season, and that means that they announced some really cool things. The realistic model series 1/144 scale Archangel Catapult got its first prototype released, and even though we don't have a price yet, my heart is telling me to buy 2 of them, or maybe even 4 of them, and to paint 2 of them in the Dominions colors. Regardless, it is currently slated for a fall 2021 release. Another prototype then that we were shown was the GGG Kamille Figure that will release at some point for X amount of yens. Another thing we're unsure of is whether it'll be part of the Gundam Guys generation or the Gundam Girls generation. Hello, this is Finn speaking.
Apologize.
Huh?
Kamille is a perfectly good name for a guy. I'm a man and I'll prove it.
This guy's nuts. Anyways, at an as of yet unknown date, we'll get the Gundam Girls generation figure of Gigi Andalucia from the Gundam Hathaway's Flash series, and the only thing we currently know about is that, just as with the Kamille figure, it'll be about 190 millimeters tall, and that it'll be no doubt a great looking figure. In other news then, on the 10th, the latest Gundam vs. Arcade game got released, Gundam Extreme vs. 2 Cross Boost, or as it'll be abbreviated, XB or Cross B. And the reason that they included the X or Cross in the name is from the Roman numeral 10 to celebrate the 10th anniversary of the Extreme Versus series. That's been going on for quite a while now, and when you just look at the normal Versus series, that thing has been going on for even longer. Like, even all the way back in the PlayStation 1 era, you had games that were kind of like laying the foundations for the Versus games. So that is definitely a very long-running series, and with 198 machine, it has the largest roster so far, and the game also promises new additions to the gameplay for a very fresh experience. The 3 new machines are the Phoenix from Gundam NT, the Build Strike Gundam from Gundam Build Fighters, and the Gundam Flores from Iron Blooded Orphans. The big gameplay change then is that they're not just adding a few normal X-Bursts, but they'll also be including the X-Burst Cross, named after the game of course. And with this, you'll gain additional effects by stacking your X-Burst with the X-Burst of your ally. And I will also have the intro movie linked down below. And if you're a more tactical player, we also got some more information on the Gundam Arsenal Base arcade game. While the game definitely looked very similar to Gundam Tri-H with those first promotional images, we can safely say that it's definitely 2 different games. From the promotional video that I'll also have linked down below, we can tell that the game will be played by placing 5 mobile suit cards on the machine, and then also having 5 pilot cards to pilot the respective mobile suits. And then through a touchscreen, you as the commander can like tell them, go here, go there, attack at that point, attack there. The main goal of the battle then is to destroy the enemy ship where the enemy commander is located before the enemy destroys your main ship where you are located. And it also seems that the game will be purely player versus player. And then before we move on to this week's apparel, we got another cool Gundam design from Mika Akitaka. This time based on the Command Gundam, with some cues taken from the Heavy Weapon Command Gundam. She is called the Colonel Command Gundam, and man is she packing a punch. She's got 6 multi-launching missile launchers, missile pods, 2 beam sabers, an NC heavy gun that is bigger than she is, rocket launchers, a twin laser machine gun, and, I quote, grenades, not grenades. Gotta love the English, and what I also love is that her weight is listed as top secret. On the apparel front then, we got some really cool char designs this week from Strict G in what they are calling the Red Comet Chronicle lineup. And thankfully, this time around, it's not just Char's counterattack Char, but also Quattro Vegeta and regular Char, meaning that most pieces of apparel are available in 2 amazing flavors and 1 slightly salty flavor. We get a Char, Quattro, and Counterattack t-shirt for 4,180 yen, with each design also available as a black t-shirt with an awesome golden Char design. There is a long-sleeved version with the same design lineup for 5,280 yen. There is a white or a black Char trainer for 8,580 yen, a gray or a black Char parka for 9,680 yen. That also features his insignia on the back, a Char Aznable shot glass for 1,650 yen, a Char Aznable pup mirror for a whopping 13,200 yen, or like $120, a Char luxury tray, a Char luxury accessory tray for 1,760 yen, Char Quattro and counterattack pins for 880 yen a piece, and of course a lineup of keychains for 990 yen. The front features Char and the back features one of his amazing, iconic lines in perfect English this time around. Then, if you feel like spending a bit more on your Gundam Apparel, Strict G is having a collaboration with Sevskik. And no, that is not a piece of IKEA furniture, but a Japanese fashion brand. I had to look that up to be sure, because man, it sure sounds like one. For around 1,500 US, you can get a really cool Char leather jacket, or for 1,300 US, you can get a slightly less cool Char hoodie leather jacket, but still plenty cool enough. What I really like about both of them is that on the outside, there are some Char markings, but they're very subtle. Like, if you know that they're there, you'll notice them. And then on the inside, it is just full-on Char design. But at the same time, it is still done in a very nice vintage style. So they might be on the expensive side, but I'm totally okay with these, as opposed to whatever the hell it was I tackled a few weeks ago. Poggy the man. For the folks who need something more sporty then, Bankore has you covered with their second line of Gundam Sports Apparel, and this time they actually feel sports inspired, as opposed to it's a t-shirt and it says sports on it. So, for 7,150 yen, there is a Zeon baseball shirt. For 4,400 yen, a Zeon long-sleeved raglan, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, t-shirt. For 3,850 yen, you can get either a black or a brown Zeon shirt with racing stripes on it. For 4,070 yen, there is a Zeon sports cap. And then for 5,500 yen, you can get a Zeon two-way tote bag, meaning that there are 2 normal handles to just carry it as a normal bag, and then another longer handle so you can have it over the shoulder. And then, since there isn't an interesting poll going on at the moment, we are wrapping up with some crazy Gundam Café news. We got the full details of the Gundam 00 Easter event, which will be running all the way from March the 16th until May the 9th. And as you can see next to me, we got the full colored image of the Gundam Meisters and Graham Aker in their bunny costume. I bet quite a few of you out there are disappointed that Tieria isn't wearing the traditional Gundam Girl, the traditional bunny girl outfit. Also, Lock-On doesn't just look like he's ready for Easter, but for St. Patrick as well while he's at it. Of course, it ain't a Gundam Café special event without some special menu items and also stuff to collect. Every pilot gets his own signature dish, a color-coded signature drink that comes with a randomable collectible coaster, a special color-coded pudding, and 2 versions of Easter parfait, which you can get with or without an included glass to take home with you. You can either get the special Graham parfait or you can go for the Meister's parfait, but the glass you get will always be the same. And as if that still isn't enough, there is also a whole lineup of fortune lattes because, of course, and a whole bunch of related merchandise to buy because money. There will be acrylic figures, muddlers, a smartphone stand, magnet badges of the individual pilots and one of them together, and a memorial cookie. Alongside the Easter event then, we're also getting 2 special 00 lunches. The first one being Graham Acres Pilot Lunch, appropriately served on a very military-esque tray, and then there is the more classy option based on everyone's favorite Gundam alcoholic, Sumeragi's Gourmet Burger, which will quite literally be served with potato chips, and the menu also warns us, and I quote, "Sauce in hamburger includes alcohol in red wine. Please be careful if you are alcohol intolerant or order for kids." I really hope someone proofreads that before they print the actual menus, but I fear for that. Unfortunately then, we're ending this week again with some quite sad news. It has been announced that the Gundam Café Osaka Dotonbori store will be closed on March the 31st after about 2 years of operation. However, for those who were planning to go to Osaka later this year or maybe next year and also wanted to visit the Gundam Café, there is still the Osaka Expo City Gundam Café, which will be continuing operations. But that has been all for this week's Gundam news. As always, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great day, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.